30 seconds. All right. All right. I think we're all good. Hello. All right. All right. Okay. We're live and we're good. Okay. Thank you all for waiting. Thank you all for the patience. Especially our super guest for tonight. Thank you so much. You joined very early. We're sorry for the delay. Let's quickly start with a few things. Let me quickly introduce to you the Church Media X. The Church Media X is a body responsible for creating the Church Media Professionals Network. So Church Media X has different expressions, and one of it is the Church Media Professionals Network, and that's an interdenominational community of church media experts and interns. It's a community designed to resource us for our services in the tech, media, and communications department of the Kingdom of God. This includes young talents, entrepreneurs, professionals, and creatives. Everybody is invited. So what do? We inspire excellence, sharpen your expertise, and broaden your experiences. Now, if you've been in our community on the WhatsApp, you would have seen what we've been doing over the past few months, few weeks. You would see it's about sharing. It's about developing ourselves. And one of the things that we do to make this sharing and developing ourselves even more rampant is by bringing in professionals from the industry to just chat with us and to learn from ourselves. So tonight, we have a special guest in the house. Let me read his bio before I bring him on. So our guest tonight has over 15 years experience in the audiovisual realm. His name is Mr. Olufemi Adebayo and Jory, consultant and team lead at News Central TV station at the Evangelical at the Redeemed Evangelical Mission. He manages church production. He handles sounds, camera, lighting, and multimedia for flawless in-house and online services. Okay, he has audio engineering background, and that further bolsters his expertise. He is also a freelance broadcast engineer and integrator for projects, including for The Punch, TV, BBC Radio, and more. Additionally, he leads studio technical operations at the News Central TV, overseeing and training technical operators in sound, lighting, camera, and vision mixing. Ladies and gentlemen, everyone around the world, professionals and interns, please let's make welcome our guest tonight, Mr. Olufemi Adebayo Anjorin. You can unmute and give a warm round of applause. All right.
Good evening, sirs. Good evening.
Mr.
Good evening, everybody. So can I go on?
Good to have you. Yes. You can come on. I need to see your face. I can't see you. Let me see where my participants.
We can't hear you at the moment.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. Can hear you now. So should I go on? Good evening, sirs.
Good evening. Okay, I said we're going to start on an interesting note. So let me quickly ask you, how did you come into church media?
Actually, I came into church media. That was 2002. As of then, I was working as mixing and mastering audio engineer at Nera Sound Audiovisual Production. So I was working as the mixing and mastering engineer, and Trem VIC needed someone to help upgrade the media department and also introduce producing of CDs, and they want to do away with the cassette section. So I was invited, so I set up a system for them. Then we had all these CD printer and all sorts then. So I set up the department for them, got them the system. As at that time, I had to stay there to train them for 3 months, thereabouts. And that was how I started. Though before then, I'd already been working as the, what's it called? The tenor inquirer. I think tenor while I was inquirer in, that was Rema Chapel, 98, 99. Then at the same time, I was part of the technical department as well.
Okay.
So
you said 2002.
Yeah, 2002.
21 years ago. I want that to sink in. So that's why I did that for effect. So fantastic. You've come a really long way, sir. You've come a really long way. Okay, so I remember us talking on the phone some days ago when we were talking about this topic, and it seems something close to your heart. So I want you to tell us, what do you have in store for us tonight about church media team leadership and management?
Well, sir, I can't say I have anything new in particular that we all have not gone through. I believe we've all gone through it. We've experienced it, and some of us are actually in it. Most of us are in it mostly. So I don't think there's anything new or spectacular, but we only need to help ourselves to update our understanding and to get better on a daily basis. So if I may start, the thing is that when it comes to church media, by coming to become the head, managing and making sure that everything goes well on every service day, though it's a lot of work, but it starts with you. Is having the not just the leadership spirits, also having the quality spirits, in a sense that, fine, from experience, nothing must fail. So it's really requires that you need to be in church on time. You really need to at least prepare all your equipment and make sure all is in place. Yes, though there are times that even when everything is in place, at the last minute, sometimes your system can misbehave. So sometimes it is good. Sometimes it is, if it is available, to have a backup, but it's not always available because of the kind of equipment and the kind of equipment basically that we use in churches. So, some of the common tasks that church media teams fulfill are to deliver information to your congregation and to create an open method of communication between attendees and every church members, the church leaders, the choir, everybody. Most importantly, when it comes to understanding, should I go ahead?
Yes, go ahead,
Yeah.
sir. We can.
Understanding the role of a church media team is key. Now, the church media team, basically, you are the one that carries everything when it comes to all the messages or everything that is happening in church. You are taking it out to the world, to your Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, depending on the social media that you're sending it to. Now,
Yeah.
we all need to understand that when it comes to the responsibility of a function of a function and responsibility and function of a church leader, it is quite large. You need to have it at the back of your mind that it is not me, myself alone. Back then, when I started, I used to take it as if it has to be me. If you don't do very well, I'll step in. Because I always want the best. I don't want anybody coming to maybe the pastor or my HOD or somebody coming to ask me what is the problem, what is happening, and stuff like that. So before anybody comes to meet me and ask me what is the problem, I would have prepared at least make sure that everything is in place before I'll be able to tell them this is the problem, that is the problem. And if a particular thing is not in place, then I know it is not 100% my fault, but the most important thing is to make sure that every message needs to be seamless from what we are having in church. It's just like you having a TV production.
Yeah.
Now, what is there between a TV production and a church production is just that on a TV production, you have a presenter like you have a pastor.
Yes.
You don't have an audience, you don't have congregation, but your congregation is your audience on TV. Now, the back end of your production are your technical personnel, which is your media section, your audio engineer, your camera, your light guys, and every other people that makes the production come to life.
Yeah.
It's all those areas are very, very important. So those are one of the reasons, those are one of the differences between church and TV.
Okay,
But
I think still one more difference. Church runs a lot on volunteers.
well, I'm going there. Church
Fantastic.
run on volunteers, yes. But there are churches days. There are some churches whereby they just run, they don't just run on volunteers.
Yes.
They get some professional paid workers. And
True.
you have few volunteers.
Okay.
Like, for example, like my church now, I have few volunteers. Now, I used to have many of them. Most of them have gone to some other churches. So I have few of them, some of them who are ready to learn, who needs to be trained all over again. Excuse me. So sometimes the bulk of work lands on you as the leader. You know, if most times we start to think about, okay, the pastor, the church must always provide everything. Yes, but at the same time, the little you can do to make things work, you need to do it. Don't forget it's your father's house. It is not just the pastor's house. It is not just the admin who needs to provide some of the things you need to work, but also you are part of that church and part of the people that makes things work in that church. So
you bring something.
Pardon?
I said you bring something to the table also.
Yes, yes. So if I'm a member in that church, I should be able to communicate. I should be able to at least broadcast everything that is happening directly to some of our members outside, not just in Nigeria alone, outside the church, and you can be able to watch it anywhere. But the problem there is that when it comes to broadcasting and sending these informations, this broadcast outside, there are a lot of work that goes into it as a leader. There's a lot of work that goes into it. Because when it comes to you working with the worshippers, when it comes to you trying to make sure that, okay, your pastor does not go beyond one particular area. Now, there are some churches whereby you have to mark, sir, don't go beyond this area. If you go beyond this area, our picture quality will be this or that. Now, some pastor will listen, and some, they get carried away because as the Spirit leads.
Yes.
So as the Spirit leads.
So I think you're going in a particular direction now. You're giving us the introduction and helping us understand the role of the church media team.
Yes.
So fantastic. Okay. Now I want you to dwell on how do we even get people into the team. I have a perspective to getting people on the media team. And I think it has to come from the pastor making sure that he announces or even gets the leadership of the church to announce. Because that's one of the biggest headaches of new churches and even some established churches. They don't know how to get people into the team. And there's something you have said that really struck. It is that the people you have trained have left to another church. And it's not like they left once. They keep coming and going. So how are you managing that space? How are you bringing more people into the team so that you don't wake up one day and you're the only one doing the work? Because like you said, it's a lot of work. It can be frustrating. It can be demanding. It can take from you a lot of time and energy and resources. So how do you keep it going like that?
Okay. Let me start this way. Sometimes, or most times, it depends on the pastor.
Yeah.
I once had a pastor that 2005, we got a Dynacode system, and I was out of Lagos then. Then he called me and like, I want to get a mixer. Which mixer should I get? So I was like, sir, hold on. Femi, damn me loan. Sir, but what? I was like, sir, I'm coming. Just give me a minute. Let me get back to you. Okay, be fast, shika. You know, is actually, the man is a Benin man, understand Yoruba very well. So I called him back. I told him this. So he's the kind of person that understands, okay, when it comes to quality, when it comes to sound, picture quality, and making things go well, he doesn't play, he doesn't joke with that. Things must run well. And he has this belief, that I don't understand, that as long as is Femi there, okay, no problem. And if there's any problem, what happened? This, and if it is something that I can't handle, I'll let him know. Is this, or like, oh, it's our problem, don't worry, we'll solve it. Now, getting people to come in, building people, it still depends on the church leader, as we all know, and which is also part of delegating.
Yeah.
Now, building people in that team, basically, when it comes to you, okay, I want someone to come in for the camera section, for the sound section, for social media and things like that. It's sometimes when people come in, I speak with them. What do you like doing? What do you enjoy doing? And some of them, let's say, camera, okay, have you used it before? And no, I just like as they carry them. So what can you do? You know, some of these things help me to now, okay, we can train you on this area. You get better on this side than this other side.
Mm-hmm.
And I remembered some time ago that I like 2021 that I was not around. I had to call someone in the industry, a friend of mine, and I told her I needed a friend, someone who is good to stand in as an audio engineer, because I still have some of the guys that have trained on the media section and camera, lights, and social media. They can undo those things, but there's no major person that can really undo sound. There's other person that I've trained as well, but when it comes to understanding frequency, it goes a long way, and understanding your effects, it also goes a long way. So I had to call the guy to come in and stay. But during that process that he was standing in, I paid that guy from my own pocket. The church does not want to know whether you are not around or you are around. The most important thing is that, where's Femi? Hope everything is going on well. But in as much as they can see everything is going on well. So it's only like, he's not around. Oh, okay, no problem. So the most important thing is making sure that everything is flawless. Fine, there might be one or two itches here and there. Yes, which sometimes happens. But how effective are you to quickly resolve that issue?
Okay, so fantastic point there, sir. You said something about you paying someone that came in. I think that's one of the ways to retain some of the people, because what I found from my own little experience with people that come in and say they want to join the media team is that most of them already have their plan from home. They already know where they were going to. They know why they joined you. And God help you that what they are trying to achieve aligns with what you are trying to achieve. Do you understand where I'm going to?
I get you. I'm with you.
So sometimes it's difficult. It's difficult to harmonize what people try to achieve personally with the global goal of the team. And that's where you have some conflict. So we will talk about effective communication, building and nurturing a team. So you've given an example of a great leadership that you play in your own team. There's a role that needs to be filled. There is no volunteer that can fill that role. You got somebody and paid the person. I think that happens a lot of times. And most of us need to understand that will happen. That some roles in your media team, you probably won't find a volunteer. That is the time to know that you either bring in a contract staff or even a full-time staff to handle that role. What would you say about that?
You are very correct about that, because a volunteer does not have the experience that you have. If you are bringing in a volunteer, he does not have experience of a graphics designer. Fine, he might have little experience, but if you're a volunteer, maybe I want to bring in someone who has been doing graphics. Now he's coming in as a graphics designer for the church. So such person, I can easily take him and say, okay, you will work in the graphic department, but at the same time, church will always give you every design, every program that needs to be done by the church. You will be the one that will be designing it. Now with that, we will always want to stay. Now, these days, it's not everybody that just wants to volunteer, and it's not everybody that wants to learn like those days that you want to like go all the way to like, you don't even mind, but you just enjoy the job. You just enjoy, okay, go and get me this cable and go and get me this, go and carry that camera. Oh, how does this work and stuff like that. It's not like those days. Those days will be like, some of them will even call you, okay, I don't get money to come church.
I get that a lot.
God bless you. So which has happened several times. And I'll be like,
Yes.
okay, no problem. Send your account number. Oh, okay. Find a way to come. When you come, I'll reimburse you and stuff like that. And the thing is that because what you want is that the program must go on.
Yes.
I try to do something for myself because there are times that I may not be in church. I will be in the office. I try to open up every avenue of like, this is what is here. This is what you do in case this happens. This is what you do. This is what you do in case I'm not around. Do this, do this, do this, and stuff like that. I try to put everybody, let them understand everything, every connection that I have done, so that it won't be like, it's not around. Now, something like that happened. I think about 8 years ago. I was sent to Ekpe, one of our branch in Ekpe, to solve some issues for them, and I was not around, and they were calling me, where are you? When are you coming back? How soon will we get here? We could not display this, we could not display that. So I have a doctor, not a doctor by profession, but a doctor in engineering. So it was like, okay, he came up with a kind of semantics that, okay, the connection goes this way and it is being connected like this. Then I have checked it. Everything is okay. I said, sir, that is the connection. If that is not working, then there's a problem on the system itself. So I was trying to explain to him, go this way, do this, do that. Now that didn't work. So when I got there and I got to the system, I was like, oh, is this? So I just connected it. It was like, Femi, that place, what did you touch? What did you touch? Show me what you did just now. And I'm like, oh, sir, in case this happen again, is this that you need to do? Sometimes it happens, and if it does not happen, it won't happen throughout the whole day or throughout the whole week or throughout the whole month. But sometimes, if it does happen, these are the things you do. So issues will always come up. But when it comes to, I've had a case whereby I had to tell the church, sir, I need these guys to get transport. As they are volunteers, yes, but they need to be encouraged a little, no matter how little, at least.
Yeah.
Let them, let them feel be appreciated. It will not harm the church. It should not harm the church in any way. But let them feel appreciated and like, oh, we appreciate what you're doing. We can't pay you, yes, but this little, just manage it for us. At the end of the month, they will be looking, yes, it's little. At the end of the month, they'll be looking forward to it. It goes a long way.
Very true. Very true. Very true. Fantastic. Okay. Now let's discuss importance of teamwork and collaboration. I found something interesting on media teams. There is no production you can do if you are not in tune with yourselves. Just imagine a scenario where the producer or the director is angry with one cameraman. He's not going to use that guy's shots. And people at home are going to know, because there will be a time in the music where somebody is playing some fantastic tune on his guitar and he's supposed to be on the screen. And the cameraman that the producer is angry with, he is the one handling that camera. So what we want to discuss now is the impact of teamwork and collaboration. How do we foster a spirit of teamwork and collaboration on our church media teams?
Okay, let me start by saying this. Teamwork is key. It helps your production in every way. I've had, I was then when I was in Wazobia TV, there are times that you'll be live, and you one way may have issues with the director. And during break, we could call ourselves names, shout on ourselves, scream on ourselves. And when you hear the countdown from the MCR, you'll be like, okay, guys, don't worry. We'll continue. And everybody sit down and move on. And after the production, you realize that later on, we're like, where are you going to eat this afternoon? Where are you going to eat? We'll go so place. Let's go and eat together. One thing about team production is understanding that it is not about that person handling the camera. That is the problem. It is not. When I always tell my people anywhere, in church, at work, please, if you are annoyed with this person or that person, I will appreciate if you drop it at the gate before coming into the church or coming into the office. Please. Most times I try to let them understand that it's not about let's just do it. But how well are you doing it?
We do. Exactly.
How well?
And the production comes first before your emotions or your issues with other teammates.
We always have issues.
Like our pastor will say, that shot you didn't take might be the reason somebody didn't get saved.
That's it.
You've lost a soul by just being angry with your brother. Why not put aside that matter until after the production and let it not rub? And whatever we do in production, sometimes some of them are forever. Once they tape it, once it's recorded, it's forever. Do you want to bottle and record your anger forever so that when you watch that video another 50 years, you just remember, this shot. I remember this director when he was talking to me anyhow on the comms. Do you understand? So you have to learn to let go. Like you said, leave the matters at the gate. When you enter the production room, everybody is your brother, everybody is your sister. You are looking out for yourselves. And that's the point that you emphasize there.
Yes, thank you very much. For when it comes to that again, we all need to understand that at least we need to look out for ourselves. As I said earlier, there will always be issues between this person and that person, but it will always be good for us to resolve it immediately so that it does not continue, because it has tendency to always be there as it will continue. And if you don't end it at that moment, you will find out that the person might just, if it's not everybody that can keep things in their mind, some people will say it out and say, okay, this is what you did or I'm not okay with. And it ends there. And it's not everybody that can say, I'm sorry. Some will say, oh, that's why you can't vex. It's not a vex now, this is that. And somehow you laugh over it and you let it go. Production on its own, news is just like news. It's a madhouse. I'm sorry to use that language. It's a house whereby you are my friend, yes, but I can get angry with you for you to get the best that we need for our audience or for the congregation at that point in time. Our friendship is not just the main thing now, but the goal, what we need to achieve, is the most important thing. So we need to understand ourselves. We need to drive towards quality and achieving the best. So those are some of the things.
Yeah. So I think another point that I wanted to bring up is the tension that live puts on people. There's a difference between shooting a movie and doing a live service production. There are two different things. And the tension can lead to people's emotions boiling over. You understand? So I think I can liken the service to your TV production, live news production. So You know, when it's live, it puts more pressure on the leadership. When it's
Yes.
live, it gives more room for errors. Then when it's live, it also puts everybody, when you make an error, in front of the old church. You know, someone was telling me that our church is very good because our own MCR is up, the congregation is down. That their own. The MCR is inside the congregation. Can you imagine that? That the church surrounds your MCR.
Wow.
So when the pastor says, give me Luke 10, chapter 5, and you people don't send it, everybody just turns and look at you guys. So you see, there is unusual amount of pressure there. So when you are on a live production, the pressure is much and the tension runs very high. That is the time that you have to learn humility, you have to learn patience, you have to learn long suffering. When I say long suffering now, somebody said the director stayed on my shot for too long. Then he radios back that, director, can you take another shot? And the director is like, so you are directing me now? Because the guy is tired. They've overused the shot. So I'm saying, when we are on this kind of productions, when it's live, we have to give room for errors from our mates. We have to manage that scenario. So somebody's supposed to send something. He has punched it. It's not going out. So you start shouting at him in the control room. You embarrass him in the control room. That is totally wrong. It doesn't build team spirit. It's one of the things that get people to say, they are done. They are not. Is it that difficult, or is it that important that you'll be shouting at me every Sunday? Do you understand? So I think it's important that we let our directors know and the team leaders know that's really the live production puts you under pressure. So you should learn to manage that pressure and not transmit anger, transmit frustrations to team members. Do you want to speak on that also, sir?
Yes. Actually, I can tell you the best time to learn and understand what you're doing is during live production. That is the best time you can learn and understand what you're doing. That is when you need to be proactive. It is when we need you most. True. Not when we have a post-production. Because it will test your patience. It will test your emotion. Good. It will test your humility. Your personality is going to test it. True. How well can you manage your person when it comes to that time? Because such things will surely happen. And that is the reason why sometimes you see churches getting or want to employ an experienced personnel. Because some of them, over time, they've been able to understand what emotional intelligence is, how to relate and understand a particular thing when it is happening at that particular time. So it is the best time to really know what to do. Now, for example, whenever I'm training some of my guys, let's say on audio or on visual mixing, and which is whatever you punch on hair. If you make any mistake, now you need to understand that if you make any mistake, the management is coming for you. I try to let them understand that. Fine, the management is coming for me anyway. But I need to let them understand that you want to lose your job. Sometimes I put that fear into them, then later I'll let them understand that it's not just the management coming for you. It's coming, the management is coming for me. But you need to understand that you need to be serious. You need to concentrate. Yeah. Now, that there won't be side talks behind you. It's a lie. There will always be some chit chat behind you whenever you're trying to. And that's why most times I chase some people out from this production control room. If you're coming there to talk or to play, press your phones and disturb us from concentrating, I'll chase you out of that place. And that they know me for. Even if you're my friend, I will chase you out. Then when we are done, oh yeah, you can't chase me out. No vex, you don't say we don't work. No, you're supposed to understand how you be. But the way they chase me out, but okay, no vex. Now, sometimes no vex, or I'm sorry, goes a long way to calm certain people down and maybe explaining things to them if they don't understand. And sometimes familiarity, like na my paddy, na my friend, and stuff like that. I always like to let them know that I'm sorry, when it comes to working, don't take me as your friend though. If I did anything wrong, call my attention, let me know at that point so that I can control myself immediately. So it won't be, I mean, I've worked in a place whereby if you make any mistake to punch a wrong thing on air, before you take that particular wrong thing off air, you are getting a mail. Immediately.
That's not in church, you. That's in the corporate.
That's actually not a church. That is not a church.
Yes.
Sometimes such discipline needs to be part of us in church because it will help us to be effective. It will help us to be proactive.
Yes.
If you can't concentrate and get the best from your crew, there are times that after the production and like, you guys did well today. I'm going to buy this for everybody and stuff like that. Bros, the money will be plenty for your hand that time, but you just want to make everybody happy. Just want to encourage them.
True. Very true.
And if they did wrong, like you guys did not do well today, so nothing for you. Now that doesn't mean they can afford those things themselves. They can afford it.
Yeah.
But just to encourage them. I've been in a situation whereby there's some of the crew that I had to give them the password of the Wi-Fi. And my HOD said, Fabio, why are you giving them the password? They will finish. No, they will finish the internet. I said, sir, they won't finish it. I am monitoring it. And I'm just encouraging them with that. Since church is not giving them anything, some of them will feel like, okay, I have time. Let me go out to church and go and do this and all this. Now, I will have the opportunity to say, okay, go and do this, go and do that. But everything will not rest on me.
Right.
So I'm not. I should have it at the back of my mind that I'm not an island. The most important thing is that the church, the production must go on well.
Yeah.
We must get to everybody within, abroad, wherever they are. We must get to them and make sure that everything is in place.
Fantastic. Okay, sir, we have a question. Someone, Mr. Osasumwe, Brother Osas, he says, how do you foster a culture of training amongst unit heads, ensuring that they trust within their units?
Okay.
A culture of training. That is very...
That is very key. That is very, very important. Now, there are times that on a particular day, I could send a message to some of the departments. Like I have someone, because I can't be everywhere. So I had already placed a particular person. Okay, you are in charge of camera. You are in charge of media. You are in charge of light and stuff like that. So there are times I train everybody, and there are times I bring in an external body to train them.
Fantastic.
So that I don't have everything off air. I don't know everything.
People don't know that you can bring.
The network is not so good.
Continue, sir.
So you were saying, I think I can hear you well now. Okay, network is
Continue,
also
sir.
good. Okay,
Okay.
so there are times I bring in
Yep.
some of my friends to come and at least discuss a particular segment when it comes to maybe camera, maybe lighting, and social media. But the thing is that I've within this year and last year, I've had like 3 of my social media guys move out of this country. And so they are the one that
Wow.
does the Twitter and the Facebook posting and stuff like that, why the service is going on. So about 2 or 3 of them left Nigeria. No, 3 of them left Nigeria. So I have to now start training some other people, looking for 1 or 2 other people to come up in it again and things like that. So we must, in a way, aside from us or the team lead training them, we need to at least bring in an external body. It will also help them to see, or help you as well, to see from another point of view. You have idea of some of them, but not properly in-depth understanding of everything as you need to.
Yeah.
So you have to bring in someone from this place, that place, and to work together. The most important thing is that there are some particular areas that you need to cover that you want them to understand.
Yeah.
So from there, and you need to have a particular day. Okay, maybe on a Saturday or after service, for you to have your training, 1 hour, 30 minutes, or
Okay, I think the word that we need to pay attention to in that question is the word culture. He said,
okay.
how do you create a culture? So I think one of the ways to create a culture is repetition. So you don't do trainings once a year.
No.
You don't do trainings once in 2 years and you expect that to be a culture of your team. No, trainings have to be regular. Trainings have to be, at least you train every single quarter. There must be a training. So that's how to begin a culture of training for your team. So I have it on calendar that in the first quarter of 2023, we are doing training on directing a service. By quarter 2, we're doing training on graphics. By quarter 3, we're doing training on our documentary productions, how to make them better. Do you understand? So that way, your team already has it at the back of their mind that training is part of our value system in this church. That's number 1. Then number 2, you mentioned something about you being the leader in your team, yet you don't know everything. Or even if you know everything about what you are doing in your church, there is a fresh perspective that someone else will bring. So it doesn't make you less of a leader because you brought in someone to do training on a specific aspect of the church media production. So I think one of the things that we should do is, number 1, the people that need to train other people, we need to train them. Because like you said, you've trained 3 social media managers and they're out of the country. Now it means you are starting from scratch. If you bring in 1 more person into that team to do the social media management training, and you train that person, and you don't train that person again for another 1 or 2 years, you will continue to have the same level of production. And you will always be frustrated with that because you will know that this is not our former level. You understand? So let us make training a crucial part. And training is not something that you have to cook an elaborate meal or do a big party because you are doing training. No, training is after Sunday service. Review what you have done. Can we start with that? Let's start from the small places. Can we review what we did today? Can we see how things worked well, why they worked well, and the places they didn't work well? Can we evaluate what the challenges were? Or can we have the meeting during the week? That's one aspect. Then another aspect is you already draw up a list of trainings for each unit. Graphics unit, you have to do this training on this day. News on this day. And another way that we get to do training in our team is our pastor is a very media savvy person. So he's always on YouTube or on Instagram. He will send you links. He will send you what other people are doing. That way, the team knows that you always have to be on the cutting edge. You always have to do what other churches are doing and do it better. So I want us to address training in our churches. Everyone that is on the Zoom call on our live production tonight on YouTube, I want you to take training as important as your regular productions. Thank you so much, Mr. Femi.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so I want you to quickly, we've done 9:09. We're 9:09 p.m. already. Okay, we said we were going to do 8 to 9 p.m. I want us to talk about planning and workflow management. How do we plan our productions better? And how do we get our workflow? You know, you said something that really struck me. You left the church for a bit, then they were calling you. Brother, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Because they have a challenge that nobody else on the team can solve. They have a problem nobody else on the team can solve. And that's where continuity, planning, workflow management really comes in, where you have enough people to back up every role because you have trained them, because you have equipped them.
Okay, sir. Like I said earlier, I have some of my guys that I've trained that left. All those things happened during the time those guys left, and I was actually sent for another branch to help build the technical media departments in that place. So some of those guys, because one thing I always try to do is making sure that everybody aside from you that is working in sound or in camera. Now that doesn't mean that if you're working in camera, you have the right to come and touch the control and the console. No, you don't. Just for you to have an idea of the operations.
Exactly.
And you are not technically inclined to really go in depth into it. You are just going there in case the guy quickly wants to use the restroom. Okay, press the mute button, bring this down, bring this up in case we have this issue or that issue. So I try to let them understand everything. Now, when it comes to some of the connections, few of them or almost all of them have an understanding of it as well. So
okay, sorry, sir, how did you get them to have that understanding?
Okay. Most times, every third Saturday and second Friday, we normally have training. And if there is any new thing that I just installed, I always carry them along. Now I call every one of them. We have so equipment that just came in and it has been installed. That's if they are not around during the installation, because most times I always make sure that every one of them is available during the installation. Why? So that they can learn. You may not want to use it there. You may end up using it somewhere else. It's not about just that place alone. The experience you are getting does not end there. You can always use it anywhere else. So I always try to call every one of them to be available during the installation. And if it happens that some of them are not, there is a group whereby I always call every one of them, okay, at so time that we are going to be having our training, we'll be going over this and this and this. So most of them always have an understanding that, okay, this is a new equipment, this is how it works, and this is what you should do in case you have this issue or that issue, because issues will always come up. And knowing fully well that these days, or there are times that I work on Sundays in my own office. So I need to make sure that
Yes.
it's not Femi alone. There are some other people who can do it and probably may be able to even do it better. You understand? So I have to put other people through. All right, this is what I did. This is how I did it. And in case you can do it this way, do this. And if you have any other options, and there are times that I ask for response of what we are doing, what we're not doing well, how we should get better. Even from some of the deaconesses and some few of them, there are times I just ask the pastor, so what are the things that you're not okay with? Because there are times that will be the one to come and meet you and like, I don't like to do this, I don't like this, I don't like how this goes and stuff like that. So knowing fully well that I myself, sometimes I may not be around on a particular Sunday. So I don't need to think I'm the Alpha and Omega of the whole thing. No, I'm not. I need to also impact. I have. Hold on. So you're about saying something?
Oh, sorry. I was going to say you are not holding on to all the knowledge because you are afraid that they will not need you. You know, some people have that mentality that if I share too much, the church might now start depending on them and not call me. You know, it's not going to.
Maybe those days. I'm sorry. Maybe those days, because you need to understand that you don't feel you are indispensable. God forbid, if death comes, church will get somebody else and you won't pay that person even higher.
True.
So I've had some of my guys who left. In short, I felt blessed with the voice note he sent. Brother Femi, thank you for teaching me this. Now those things now they use stuff for where I did now. This, and that. I felt happy. I even sent it to a friend of mine who is a broadcaster engineer in another station, and I was like, see what one of my guys sent give me. I happy and all those. I feel happy. Now, that doesn't mean that the experience or the experiences that you have, that doesn't mean that they will take everything out of you.
True.
Giving does not mean that you won't get. God will always open a different channel that God will give you another way to also learn more.
Someone says, wow, that's one of our challenges in my church. We are praying for you, brother. God will help you.
Amen.
Amen.
So,
okay, let me take one point you said now about people learning in church and now going out there to use what they have learned, because most times they are learning for free.
Yeah,
you are learning camera operation for free. I think currently now a cameraman for a day on these concerts and shows is about 40K, 50K per day. If you do 40K, yes, depending on the show. If you do 40K, 50K per day for a month, every week you're getting one gig. Every week you're getting 200K. In a year, you are getting 2.4 million from a skill you did not pay for, that you learned for free in church. So like someone said, and I noted it down, God is preparing you for what he has planned for you. So when you are a volunteer, God is actually using that opportunity to prepare you for a future he has planned for you. So your best bet is to be calm and learn. And sometimes when God has made you a leader of that kind of a team, your best bet is to share, is to be open with the people that you are leading, is to look for ways to make all of them better. And that's what you have said about your own style. Is you're doing installation. That's one of the places where volunteers have frustrations with people that are paid staff of the team. They left last Sunday, there were 2 cameras. Then they resumed this Sunday. They found out that there are 4 cameras. And nobody called anybody during the week to say, Pastor said we should install these 2 additional cameras. So they get frustrated that you people don't think we are important. So your communication style has helped you to have an effective team because you carry them along all through the journey, even when it's not service days. You let them know this is what is going on, and that is what is going on. And that is very, very important. And I want to applaud you for that. So can you still hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So now I want us to end with something. I want you to talk about being an effective volunteer. What do you think is required to be an effective volunteer? But before you answer, I want people to just respond. I want you to drop a 1 if you've been following us and you've been enjoying or learning from this section. We truly appreciate everyone that is on this call. So what are you looking for in your volunteers? What would you say are the qualities that you're looking for? Because many people on our stream tonight are actually volunteers, but they need to know what is expected of them. What are you looking for, sir?
Well, sir, when it comes to when it comes to the pens, it depends in the sense that we have so many of them that comes for different motive. Now, let's talk about what we're expecting and not their motives. Now, if I have a new person coming in as volunteer, what I need from the person is that maybe let's assume the person have an understanding of camera handling and usage. Maybe before now, or the person just wants to understand how to use and operate the camera. One thing first is passion. I need that person to have passion. I mean, the zeal to wanting to learn. Because if you don't have the passion, if you don't have the zeal to wanting to know how this works, what is how the iris work, how the zoom in and out works, and what is aperture, which is the normal camera, and some other ways, how it works. And when you have the zeal, you will come the next Sunday and be asking me 1001 questions. Because when you come out, feel like, oh, this guy seriously wants to learn. From there, you will everywhere you go. And I can tell you that person will learn well. And just like an example, like I told you sometime from the other discussion we had before now. My HOD is an accountant. In short, it's a KPMG accountant, does not even understand much. Now, through him I came into the church through him, 2002 then. So I was not about 5-7 years ago, thereabouts. Bishop was in our church, and after the service, they came in. One of them came in like, "Oh, I'm so person from so place. How were you guys able to do this, and achieve this and that and stuff like that?" Now I was expecting him to call me and say, "Femi, okay, come on, explain to them." So, but he didn't call me. He just like, "This is what you do. You do this, you do that. You get this connection done. You buy this and get this done and stuff like that." Now after they are gone, I was like, "Sir, where did you learn all those things from? Have you forgotten you're the one that taught me?" I was like, "Oh, you understand?" Now, let's assume that you have such person as a volunteer. You want it to crack your head too much. Because
True.
one way or the other, it impacted the person.
Yeah.
Help the person to grow in some areas. So even if when you're not around, you were like, so person is there, you are not disturbed. Or this person and that person is there. I like in my church, I do have 2 or 3 other guys then who are camera guys. They are the stubborn guys in my church, as in my department, actually, in technical. You know, they are the stubborn guys. There are times I'll be like, so our guy, we no go agree. The church supposed to do this and stuff like that. Now, I let them say whatever they want to say. Alpha, and I don't land. Okay, let's do this. Oh, bros, now because of you. But they went up doing it. They are volunteers. But they still, at least, today, they are doing well in their own way. Fantastic. So it's having someone who really wants to learn, someone who has the passion, who has the zeal, who is ready. There are sometimes, if you really want to learn, you need to be ready to take some insult from your leader. Insult as in, why are you just coming out? Look at the time you're coming in. No. Oh, you're going to stay this. Or don't come inside this. Or no, I don't want to see you here. And stuff like that. Which does happen. I believe you understand that. You know, so we really need to always want to learn from that person. Want to know more. And that doesn't mean that you won't still want to go outside and learn more. You understand? That's like when a new vision minister comes in, I always tell them that don't feel you know what you think you know outside this place. Now, every church media department house style. You need to know how the house style works, how everything works before you think you know what you think you know. Listen. Yeah. Learn from you might have like 4, 5, 6, 7 directors. You are learning one particular thing from 4 to 5 different places. So don't say, why did you not call these shots? Keep quiet. Let him call the shots, whatever shots. And if it is wrong, sir, why did you call these shots? Let him explain to you the reason why he called that shots. Why did you take this? So there are times that some of them know too much than you think you do. Forgetting that you've been there, you understand how we do what we do. Yes. Fine. Bringing new things is good, but is it allowed? Should we do it at on that live production? Yes. So very correct. What is it? Very correct. So there's that attitude of a learner needs to come with you when you're coming to join a new team. Very important. And the passion, like I said, you can't teach a passionless person. Passionless people, they will drive you crazy. You know how they'll drive you crazy is when, especially in a live production, when you are seeing urgency and somebody is saying, is it a big deal? That thing can throw you off. You're telling the person this thing has to go now. It says no now. Yeah, sir, why are you in a rush? So no, but you need to be at your passion level has to be the passion level of the leader, or else you guys won't flow together. So for tonight, I think we have to call it a day. Thank you so much, sir. I know it's not easy to get you out of your regular routine to be on the show. But look at you. You've done over an hour, close to 2 hours with us. We want to say a big thank you. If you have learned something, I want you to put a thank you in the chat box for our great speaker tonight. Thank you for sharing your wealth of wisdom. Thank you for sharing your experiences.
And I know you did some research. It means you took some time off, you took some energy into it. Thank you so much. You prepared for this. I we truly appreciate you. The church media community in Nigeria, in Africa, and across the world appreciates you. Thank you so, so much, sir.
Thank you very much.
Do you have?
I'll say thank you for this opportunity. I really appreciate it. Thank you, sirs.
All right. Okay, everyone. That's where we call it a day tonight. I'm sure we are going to bring our speaker sometime again soon. It's going to be a blessing to all of us. Thank you so much, everyone. I have seen some of my people, our regulars. Mr. Amos, what do you want to say? You've been raising up your hand. I'm sorry. I didn't take that. I see Brother Samuel, Brother Temi Tokwe, Mr. Williams. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining. Thank you so much for joining. Okay, our next bi-weekly meeting is going to be a big one. It's going to be a bigger one. It's going to be fantastic. We're going to be bringing one of the global technical directors to the platform. You don't want to miss it for anything. There's something I've noticed about church production, and it is communication. There is a big problem there, especially between the MCR and the floor, between the teams, harmonizing ourselves and all of that. So we're going to be talking about how to make that better. So you want to be a part of the next bi-weekly forum. Thank you, everyone. Every Saturday we hold a prayer control room. I want you all to endeavor. It's not easy, but you should try to join the prayer control. And if you're not a part of our community on WhatsApp, I've put the link in the chat. Check it, click the link, and you will be a part of the community. It's a fantastic community for learning and growing and sharing. So, what else do we have for tonight, Adra? I think that is it. Let's call it a day. Somebody said set/stage design. No, we are coming. God will help us. We're going to bring someone for set and stage design, especially how to do low budget and high budget set and stage designs. Thank you, Mr. Sam. What else do we have? If you have any suggestion, please drop it. I want to see your topics that you're looking at us taking in the bi-weekly forum. What topics are you looking at? I've seen set and stage design. I've talked about technical directing. What else are you looking at? What's the challenge that you want us to address in your church? Like I said, if you want to join the community, the link is in the chats. Let's have you there. We want to wrap up, and I'm still feeling like someone has something to say. Physical trainings too, if possible, for us, for those of us that are beginners. Physical trainings. Okay, physical trainings, we are working on something. We're working on something. And happen soon. We're working on something to package for churches, and we're going to pick a location either on the mainland or on the island. We'll call everybody together. We do a training. Somebody said training on multimedia. Let me know what you mean by multimedia. What's training on what? What aspects of multimedia are you looking at, so that we can also pen that down? Physical training is very important. I'm very big on physical training also, especially on the technical things. You can't do online training for camera handling. You can't do online training for pro presenting. No, you have to touch the computer. You have to touch the camera. Engineering, you have to touch the equipment. So you can't do it online. What to put on screen and what not, do's and don'ts. Fantastic. Those are very key areas. All righty. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. The link is not going through. What link is not going through? Okay, the one I dropped. Let me put it here again. Let me see if you can click this one now. Adra, can you try to put it? Okay, try to click it again. Try to click it again. You can try to go out and come back in. We'll still keep the chat going for another 5 minutes. So you still have access to it, but it's working. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. We want to thank God also for the opportunity to serve you in this way. Okay, now accessible. God bless you. Okay, God bless you. Okay, Father, we thank you for a wonderful day. Thank you so much for the speaker. Thank you for the people that you have brought in to learn and to be better for the kingdom of God. We give you praise and glory, and we commit our next activities, both in the community and the next bi-weekly forum, into your hands. We ask that you take absolute control and let your will be done. In Jesus' name, amen. All right. The role of effective communication. Yeah, definitely. All right. Thank you, everyone. Hey, new message. Thank you. Okay, that's it. Good night, and see you in the community, in the WhatsApp group. Let's continue our conversation there. God bless you. It's fine.